Okay, after several weeks of watching videos on YouTube about people's impressions of the Antigravity A1, I thought after 8 months now of owning one, I would give you my honest opinion. Now, most of the reviews you'll see online are actually sponsored. Mine isn't. I bought the A1 with my own money, and this is my own impression of using the drone after 8 months. There are plenty of Antigravity A1 reviews out there, but I haven't really seen one done by a hobbyist who already owns drones like the Air 3, the Air 3S, the Mini 5 Pro or the Avata. So I thought I would try and fill that gap. Right, let's start with the box. That's how it comes. And if you're not sure how to extract this from this, there are plenty of other videos out there that will help you in that matter, but I'm not going to be covering it here. But credit where it's due, it's very well packaged, and it also shows you on the outside of the box of what should be on the inside. Always good to know. So the Antigravity itself. First impressions when you pick it up, it's solidly built. It is genuinely lighter than I expected. I don't know why, because it's a sub 250 gram drone, but it did surprise me when I picked it up because it just feels as though it could be heavier. It fits nicely in the hand and is small enough to go into a jacket pocket. It does come in its own little box, which is very handy and keeps it even more protected. And when you unfold it, it feels really solid. It's very well built and is not going to fall apart in the first 6 months of using it. Now, I will say here that what you've got to get used to is pulling these little feet out here. I'll just show you. Pull those out, get that into your muscle memory, because when you put it down onto the table, it will keep the bottom lens clear of the surface. If you don't do that, you're going to end up scratching your lenses. So pull that out and put it on the table. Now, Antigravity do supply a replacement lens kit. It's quite comprehensive. You get your spare lenses, you get a tool to remove it. I can get this out of here. You get 2 of those, which are the spare lenses. You get a tool to remove it. You get a brush so you can clean out any dust that is in the lens before you put it on. And you also get one of these, a dust blower, similar to what you would have used with an SLR camera when you were changing your lenses. That feels quite nice. And you also get gloves and lots of wipes to clean everything. Now, my gripe here is that all of this will not easily fit into the bag. The bag is just about big enough to get the drone in, the goggles, the motion controller and the batteries, and that's it. So you may need to start thinking about a different bag, a backpack. There may be one produced in the future, especially as I've also bought the prop guards. Now, there is absolutely nowhere they can go in the bag, and I've actually changed the strap on the bag and I've put in a buckle here which I can unclip and I can hook all of those on there, but that is not ideal, and I will eventually put everything into a backpack. I'm waiting because I'm told that very soon, almost imminently, the standard remote controller will be coming out, and until I've seen that and how big that is, then I don't know what kind of backpack to get. My existing backpack might be fine. Also imminent, so I'm told, is a little gizmo thing that you wear on yourself, and what that will enable you to do is the drone will follow you without the use of any other controller, and it will respond to hand gestures. So if you're walking along a path, I don't know, wherever, through a wood or over a field, and you're filming yourself with the drone and the drone's over there, you can actually do a hand gesture and bring it over so it's then over there. I'm really excited to see that and the controller, and I will be doing a video of that when they come out. Anyway, back to this. What also comes in the box is the vision goggles. Now these are really well made. They are very, very comfortable. Even with my eyesight, which is not bad, but it's not brilliant, the diopter adjustment on the bottom is perfectly adequate. So I can wear these and see what's going on. And the actual fact that you can look around, complete 360 view, when you're flying is, well, it's amazing, and we'll be testing that in a minute. Right, so also in the box, apart from the battery for the goggles, and you have to wear this around your neck at the moment, I believe there are some 3D printed clips out there that you can actually put it onto the side of your head, onto the strap on the goggles. But that is quite a heavy battery, actually. That is, if I compare that with the drone, I haven't weighed it, but it doesn't feel much different to the drone, and I don't really want to walk around with a drone strap to my head, or what feels like a drone strap to my head. So wearing it around your neck, you'll get used to that. And of course the final thing that comes is the motion controller. Now that's been given other names, so I'm not going to repeat that in this video. It is again very solidly built, fits nicely in the hand. For left-handers it may be a bit more difficult, but you can pause what you're doing to find these two buttons on the side, which you don't use a lot. It's mainly the buttons on the back here that you're going to be using. When I fly the Antigravity A1, I fly in FPV mode, so use this as a true motion controller where you're tilting it to turn left, tilting it to turn right, up and down. So you don't actually end up using a lot of these buttons. This wheel here will actually adjust the drone as you're flying, but I very rarely use that. But also, if you've just recorded something, you've finished recording, if you press this button here, the wheel, if you actually press it till it clicks, it will recenter the icon in the goggles to the icon you're actually following when you're flying. You've got your, let's get this the right way around, that's your video record button, that's your camera button, and that's your pause button, or panic button as I like to call it. If you just give it one press, the drone will pause and hover in its position. If you give it a long press, it will start initiating return to home. Trigger on the front. No reverse, but why would you need reverse on a drone like this? You don't need reverse. If you get into a tight spot where you think, oh, the only way I can get out is to reverse, all you need to do, turn the motion controller, the drone will turn, and you fly back out again. Simple as that. Let's face it, you can't reverse in a 747, can you? Okay, so what we're going to do now is go out in the field and put this drone up in the air. Right, so this is what makes this drone different. It's worth slowing down a bit because I didn't get it right in my head before I flew this for the first time. The thought process is different to a conventional drone. With your Air 3, Mini 5, etc., you get what you point the camera at, and that's it. But with the anti-gravity, you get everything, absolutely everything, all around you. So you're not really aiming while you're flying and getting everything. That's what you've got to get right in your head. Sounds brilliant in theory, and it kind of is, but it changes how you have to think about the shot that you want completely. You still have to plan what you want to shoot, but the framing and the panning and everything else is done in post, either in the app on your phone or in studio on your PC or laptop.
What? The boat?
take off. So the flying gets easier, but the editing gets more involved, and it's a proper learning curve to get intentional footage to show your viewers, rather than giving them a random ball of nothing really. Right, should you buy one? Let me be honest, that's the point of this video. If you've already got the Air 3 or the Mini 3 or the Mini 4 or 5, this probably isn't the upgrade you were hoping for. It's not going to replace what those drones can do. The image quality isn't there. It's fairly close, but it isn't the same. But here's the thing, if you're judging this drone as a replacement for the DJI drones, you're missing the point. That's not what it actually is. That's a mistake I nearly made before buying it and flying it properly. This is a different kind of camera. The 360 isn't a gimmick. Once you get your head around the reframing, it generally changes what you can shoot. Shots where you would normally need maybe 2 drones and a separate gimbal operator, or you'd have to keep reflying the same route all the time, you don't have to do that anymore with the Antigravity A1. That's real, that's not marketing. So my honest verdict is this. If you want the best straight out of the camera image, then you're probably best sticking with an Air or a Mini. But if you want to film things in a way that you literally can't do with a conventional drone, and you're willing to put in the time to learn the editing, then this drone earns its place in your drone bag. It's not a DJI killer. It was never trying to be, but it does something that nothing else I own can do. And I've got to be honest, it's more fun than I expected it to be. There are some downsides to this drone. At the moment you can't film in D-Log. That's quite a big thing. But the colour profile that it has is actually pretty good, and you can improve it if you've got decent editing software. I don't like the little screws to remove the props, but hopefully I won't have to use that too often. And of course there is the absence of the standard controller to be able to fly this thing. But I've been told that's imminent, that's coming soon. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's helped, and I will be doing more videos on different modes that you can fly with this drone, the auto modes, and everything else that goes with it. So I'll see you next time. Bye.